This is a ukulele tutorial for the chord sequence for the jazz standard All of Me, as written by Gerald Marks and Seymour Simons in 1931, and made popular by the likes of Billie Holiday, Louis Armstrong and Frank Sinatra. If you're going to learn any jazz standard, this one is probably as good a starting point as any, as it follows a common chord sequence and a song form that you will see in many other songs. The song has a 32-bar sequence in an A-B-A-C form, with each section comprising of 8 bars, and it's in the key of C major. There are a few chords that are not diatonic or in the key, and these are either secondary dominant chords or borrowed chords. I'll leave a full chord analysis for another video. I've kept the chords in open position throughout, so this arrangement is reasonably beginner friendly. You could, of course, elaborate on the chord voicings and play bar chords throughout, but I'm keeping things relatively simple for the sake of this video. I've also created a backing track for the song, which I'll link to in the card above for practice. And before we get into breaking the song down, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me with making more of these video tutorials moving forward. The song is in 4/4 time, and I would generally play it with 4 down strums per bar, with an emphasis on beats 2 and 4, adding the occasional up strum to imply the swing feel of the song. As most of the chords are played for 2 bars each, I would probably place the up strum in between beats 3 and 4 of the even numbered bars, or something similar, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Another common strumming pattern that would work evenly well for this song would be down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, ideally you want to be accenting slightly louder on beats 2 and 4, like so. You may well find other rhythms or strumming patterns work just as well, so please experiment with it and don't be tied to my suggestions. As I said before, the song is in an A-B-A-C form, so once we've learnt the A section, we effectively have half the song worked out, and we just need to learn the B and C sections to complete the whole song. Then we need to just put it into some form of arrangement with a beginning and an end, etc. There are just 4 chords in the 8-bar A section. These are C major, which is played for 2 bars, and then we have an E7, which is played for bars 3 and 4. Then for bars 5 and 6 we have 2 bars of A7, and finally 2 bars of D minor for bars 7 and 8, which takes us to the end of the A section. You could equally play the final 2 bars as a D minor 7, if you wanted to add a little more colour to the chord progression. So the A section goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? In the first 2 bars of the B section, bars 9 and 10, we go back to E7 for 2 bars. Then we play bars 11 and 12 as 2 bars of A minor. Again, we could play these 2 bars, or maybe just the second one as an A minor 7 to add a little more colour. So maybe something like that. Then in bars 13 and 14, we have 2 bars of D7. And then in bar 15, we have a bar of D minor or D minor 7. And then we finish with a bar of G7 in bar 16, which acts as a turnaround chord to reset us to go back to the C chord in the next A section. So the B section should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Another nice chord option I like to play in the final bar of the B section is to play the G7 just for 2 beats of the bar, and then add my little finger, or pinky, to the 3rd fret of the 3rd string from the floor to turn the G7 into a G7 augmented chord. This adds more dissonance and tension to the G7 before resolving back to C. So let me just demo the B section with that G7 augmented ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. And so back into the A section. Next, we come back to a repeat of the A section again for bars 17 through to 24. So 2 bars of C, 2 bars of E7, 2 bars of A7, and 2 bars of D minor, or D minor 7. So that would sound something like this. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? And then finally we have the C section, which wraps things up and either takes us back to the beginning of the form or to the end of the song. The chord changes come a bit quicker here with 1 chord per bar, and I'm going to show you a couple of other chord options in this section as well. So in bar 25 we have a bar of F, which then moves to an F minor 7 chord for bar 26. Then in bar 27 we have a bar of E minor 7, and then bar 28 is a bar of A7. Then for bar 29 we get a D minor 7, or a D minor if you'd like to simplify. Bar 30 is a bar of G7, and bar 31 is back to our home chord of C. Then in bar 32, the final bar, we would either play a G7 if we wanted to turn things around and go back to the beginning of the song, or have some way of ending the song. This is what it would sound like with the turnaround to go back to the beginning of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? A couple of chord substitution options I'd like to offer for the C section are, firstly, replace the F minor 7 in bar 26 with an F sharp diminished chord, which feels a little more crunchy and dissonant to me and adds a little more interest. So the first one, F to F minor 7, or F to F sharp diminished 7. Try both options and see which you prefer. Then another option in bar 27, where I previously played a full bar of E minor 7. I like to replace this with a C chord for the first 2 beats of the bar, and then an E minor 7 flat 5 for beats 3 and 4 to take us to the A7 in bar 28, which would sound something like this. Another nice chord option for that bar is to again play the first 2 beats as a C chord, then play a B7 on beat 3, a B flat 7 on beat 4 before landing on the A7 in bar 28. That would sound something like this. This gives us the nice chromatic movement between the C and the A7 that a bass player would often play. Try all of the options I've just mentioned here and see which ones you prefer. Lastly, let's have a look at the intro for the song and also a simple ending. What I generally like to play as the intro before the vocal comes in is simply an instrumental version of the C section, using any of the chord options just mentioned with a G7 in the final bar to set us up for the beginning of the form. So something like this. All of me. For the ending, I like to just play the last 4 bars as D minor 7, G7, and C, in bars 29 to 31, as previously mentioned, and then I play just beat 1 of bar 32 as a C chord, which I immediately stop with my strumming hand, and then I finish with a single C6 chord on beat 3 of that bar. I then like to add a bit of vibrato, like so. Let me just demo the ending. So why not take all of me? So that about wraps it up for this arrangement of All of Me. As I said earlier, there's a backing track to accompany this tutorial linked into the card in the top right hand corner of this video. The backing track has all the chord names and sections highlighted as you play through the song. The arrangement is an instrumental C section intro and then a full A, B, A, C form going around twice. Then there's a little turnaround sequence to repeat the final line again before the ending. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you have any questions, and give the video a thumbs up. If you'd like a PDF of the full lead sheet of the song with the lyrics and the chord shapes, buy me a coffee. See how to do so in the link below, and I'll email a copy over to you. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.